Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to PSL on the Mic, the City of Port St. Lucie's official podcast. Today, we have a special two-part episode for you to talk about our newly formed Youth Council. First, we're going to be speaking with the Youth Council Coordinator, Stephanie Verneau, and then a little bit later on, we're going to be bringing in two of the young people on our Youth Council, Victoria and Enrique. But first, we're here with Stephanie. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's so awesome to finally have you in our studio.
I'm really excited to be here.
Cool. So, you are our Youth Council Coordinator. However, you also have another role here at the city as Community Engagement Manager. Explain that role.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to be the city's first community engagement manager, and in my role, I help to ensure that residents stay informed with us and also are engaged with us by way of digitally, by making sure that they sign up to be part of our email list, to be part of our social media, to follow us on our different social media handles, and also receives our text alerts, because we really want to make sure that the residents know about everything that's happening within the city, so we ensure that they sign up in those different ways. And then we also try to solicitate feedback through them with them through different community events as well, by asking them different questions and letting them know about what's taking place in the city, so we can make sure we get their feedback so they can be part of a lot of the different projects and things that are happening.
So would we have special events like with Parks and Recreation or the nice neighborhood meetings? You're usually there with our Stay Informed table to do all of these things you just told us.
Correct. Yes, so you're right. I am at the Stay Informed table, so definitely if you are a resident and you are out at these events, stop by, visit me, find out what's happening, events that are coming up. I also have a lot of quick, cute giveaways as well.
She's got lots of games, guys.
Lots of games as well, so if you want to win different t-shirts or different other city tchotchkes or giveaways, stop by and have a conversation with me, and you can walk away with something great.
That's awesome. And learn a little bit more about the city.
Yes.
So in that role, that's one of your roles. And now you're also the Youth Council Coordinator. So how does that relate to your role as Community Engagement Manager? What do you do?
Well, of course, if you're going to engage in the community, you can't leave out the teens. You can't leave out the youth. So I'm really glad that the city finally approved of having a youth council. And with the development of that, we were able to work with the St. Lucie County Schools to identify different youth in the community who can help us really with our seed council, because we never had a youth council before. We didn't really have youth that were really engaged, but we know it's important that youth learn about local government and what we're doing. And also, we wanted to have a voice of the youth to give us a different perspective on different issues that are affecting them, to ensure that the city knows about them, so that we can make sure that we're working on those things to make sure that they know that we care, and then we want to make sure they're part of the change.
Yeah, I know. One of the biggest things that I see on social media is there's not a lot of things here for teens to do, which really isn't true. There's a lot of things to do. But having the council now, the youth council, we have those young voices to tell us, hey, maybe we can go in this direction rather than maybe what we're doing right now. So that's awesome. The development of a youth council, I'm sure that was kind of an undertaking. Can you explain a little bit about that process?
Yes, it was definitely a big undertaking, because like I mentioned, we didn't have any youth at all to start with.
Yeah.
So we reached out to people who we know can help us identify the youth. We worked with the St. Lucie County Schools. The communication department there is amazing.
Yeah.
They've been working with us through a lot of different projects, and we reached out to them letting them know what we want to do, and they worked with different principals in the community, in the different schools, to help us identify almost 11 youth. So from that, we were able to reach out to the youth, let their youth and their parents know about what we're doing, and to see if this would be a good fit. And from there, we were able to get 9 different youth to be able to commit to being part of our youth council. And we also reached out to the St. Lucie County Boys and Girls Club, who also helped us identify some additional youth as well, and St. Lucie Roundtable, who already had an established kind of like a youth council already, to help us identify youth that can work with us as well, to kind of provide us with some insight and direction on how they've been doing it to help us with the development of our council.
Now, what did we have to do anything in-house? I know you guys were meeting with legal a little bit to talk about, the way that meetings can have to be run and stuff like that. Could you explain that a little bit?
Yes, so we started off as an advisory board under the Sunshine Law, which had a lot of restrictions on what the youth can and cannot do as far as the communication style that they had outside of the meetings, and we didn't want to put any restraints on them as far as the process goes, and we wanted it to be an opportunity for them to really enjoy being part of the youth council and not feel like there was so many different rules for them to follow.
Especially for the first year, too, because we don't really know what we're doing at this point either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we definitely needed legal to make sure that we were providing them with the right information. They were saying the right things, they were doing the right things, and if we were out participating in different workshops or completing any paperwork. So we definitely went to make sure legal was part of that process so we can make sure that we were doing the right thing first on. And we also work closely with the city manager's office as well, because this all ties into the strategic goal and our strategic plan. So we also are working with some of the staff in the city manager's office as well. So
Kate,
it's like
Salome, Sabrina, the whole gang.
It's a big team effort, so it takes a lot.
What is the ultimate goal of our youth council? I know to get those youth voices, but what is the ultimate goal here?
The ultimate goal is to make sure that the youth is the future of Port St. Lucie. So we want to make sure that we get their perspective on key issues and things that are of concern to them so we can make sure we're addressing those issues and also develop more programming because that is a big thing for them. They want to have more events. They want to have more programs. So we want to make sure we find out what those programs look like. Like we work close with our recreation manager, with Parks and Recs. They actually came and did an amazing presentation for us where they showed us.
During one of the meetings?
During one of the meetings.
Cool.
Where
Great.
they came. It was a dedicated meeting just for them to talk about what they currently are offering. So a lot of the youth council members didn't know about these different programs, and also they were able to give feedback on what they would like to see happen. So since he's the one who develops all these programs, he heard from them directly so he can start working on some things. And I think there's also something in the works for the summer as well based on the feedback that the youth council gave them. So we're hopefully looking to do something before or by the end of the school year to be able to have some type of teen-specific programs out in the community for the kids in St. Lucie.
That's awesome. And how does this help the city as a whole?
It helps the city
having a youth council.
I think it helps the city because these members are potential mayors. Vice mayors of the city. So the more they learn now about how local government functions and what it takes and all the different needs and the different things that we have or that we want, it can help the future of Port St. Lucie because there's a lot of teens in Port St. Lucie. And so in order to help make sure that we are providing youth what they want, why not work with the youth now so they can learn and grow and give us perspective and hopefully we can implement those things. So years down the line, the things that they were asking for, we can implement because we know it takes time.
Oh, of course. And we aren't that little bedroom community. I've had these discussions with the mayor in past podcasts. You know, it used to just be a bunch of retirees that lived in Port St. Lucie. That is not the case anymore. And there's more and more kids, and we have to have more and more things to keep them busy. And like you said, they could be potentially part of the city in the next few years. So that's great. Now, you've been hanging around with these awesome kids for a while now.
Yes.
In fact, you and I both went to Denver last summer with a few of the kids for All America City Conference. And I know they're sitting over there in the corner, so they're probably going to hear everything we're saying, but they're just a great bunch of kids. And I loved hanging out with them. They're super smart, so respectful. How awesome are they? What do you think of these kids?
I think they're super awesome. I mean, we have members who are Student of the Year with the Boys and Girls Club, and we also have these youth who are also part of their own SGA within their own schools. They volunteer at different other places outside of the city, and what I really like about them is their dedication and their willingness to learn and their commitment as well, because we know that with all those things that they're already part of, they still make time to be part of our youth council, and also their patience, because they know this is something new for us, and it's something that we're trying to grow and we're trying to establish in the community. So they've been really committed and dedicated, and that's really stood out from all the different members.
Yeah, and they're like on the ground level here. Like we're all helping to build this together. So it's really great. I have one last question for you. What's coming up for the Youth Council in 2024?
Well, we actually have a meeting scheduled for next week in which we're actually going to be talking about our service learning project. So the Youth Council members decided to work with the food bank
Oh,
this
nice.
year.
That's great.
So
Yeah.
they're really excited about that. So hopefully soon we'll be able to establish a day where we can register, we can start working on that project, because the Florida League of Cities has a service learning project contest coming up in April, which we're hoping that we can submit for. So we're going to be working on that over the next month. And also we want to actually finalize the application process, because like we mentioned,
To become a youth council member.
could become a youth council member for the upcoming youth council year. So we want to talk to them about what the application process is going to look like, the criteria for to submit in the application, and also what kind of students we're going to be looking for, and also the marketing plan, because we want to be able to spread this information out to more of the different schools and other teams, letting them know what we're doing so we can get a good pool of students to apply for the upcoming youth council year.
That sounds like you have a lot on your plate.
Yes.
Yeah, but I know you're super gung-ho about getting it all done. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today. And now we're going to talk with Victoria and Enrique. So thanks, Stephanie.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Awesome. All right, we are back with Victoria and Enrique. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
I'm great.
Awesome. Thanks so much for leaving school, coming here, and talking with us about your youth council. I'm so excited. First, I want you guys to talk a little bit about yourselves. Where your grade, what you like to do, your extracurriculars, what school you go to, how old you are. Let's go.
Ladies first.
All right. I'm Victoria. I am 16 years old. I'm the chair on the Port St. Lucie Youth Council. I go
Yay.
to Somerset College Preparatory Academy. Long name.
It's okay.
I'm in SGA, I'm in NEHS, I'm in NHS, I'm in Science Olympiad, Drama Club, the volleyball team.
I think there was like National Honor Society in there, and right?
Yes.
Okay, and student government.
Yes.
Awesome. So you kind of do
I'm
everything.
in everything almost.
And you keep your grades up, I'm sure.
I do.
Yay, great for you.
Has to. I'm Enrique, of course. I'm the vice chair of the Port St. Lucie Youth Council. I'm in 10th grade in Port St. Lucie High School, and I'm 15 years old. And I'm currently just a part of National Honor Society. I'm not like Victoria. I don't do everything, but
That's okay.
I do enough.
Yes, you do. And you're on our youth council.
I sure
And that's
am.
what we're here to talk about today. So the day that you guys found out we were forming a youth council, was that in Denver? Oh, yeah, I should preface that by saying I know these wonderful young people because we were at Denver together for All America Cities. Did you find out then when we were going to form, or was it like a little bit before?
I found out a little bit before Denver. My SGA student government sponsor called me. Shout out to Miss Butler.
Yeah.
She called me and said, go to the principal's office, which is very scary.
You're like, I do everything in school. Why do I have to go to the
Right.
principal's
Yeah.
office?
And they said the city of Port St. Lucie will be putting together a youth council, and you get to go to Denver. Do you want to go? And so I had to call my mom that day and find out everything, and I went to Denver, and now I'm on the youth council.
That's awesome. How about you?
Well, with me, so I went with the city to Denver for the All America City Awards with the Boys and Girls Club.
Right.
Because I am Youth of the Year. for my
Congratulations.
Boys and Girls Club.
So awesome.
Thank you. And Stephanie was there, and she had informed me in Denver that they were forming a youth council, and she was like, would you like to be a part of it? And I was like, of course.
Yeah.
Anything to get involved with the city.
That's awesome. I love it. And so what are the goals? We spoke with Stephanie a little bit earlier, but now I want your guys' perspective. What are the goals of the youth council? And then I want you guys to explain what your personal goals are from the youth council.
All right. Well, the goal we have for the youth council is basically to get more teens involved in the city. So of course we get all these complaints, oh, there's not enough to do for teens, the youth are bored, all of this stuff. And we just want to make sure that the teen voice, the youth voice is heard in the city, to make sure that we have representation in our city, to make sure that we have things to do, that we are involved, and basically just making sure that the youth here is seen.
I think he said that perfectly. Now, you guys recently went to Tallahassee. I think it was the Florida League of, I have to look at my notes for this, Florida League of Cities 2024 Youth Council Legislative Action Committee. You probably just could have said that yourself. Talk about your experience there, what you learned, and what you guys are both going to bring back to the Youth Council.
What didn't we learn is a better question. We learned so much there. We met legislators. We met Gail Harrell, our senator. We met Toby Overdorf
Yep.
and Bobby Powell from, I think, Palm Beach.
Okay.
And we learned how to better enhance our public speaking at several of the workshops there. And we actually met with the youth council that is in Cape Coral.
Yeah, they're like our sister city, I think. Cape Coral is Port St. Lucie's
think
sister
so.
city. Kind of same population.
Yeah, founded around the
Awesome.
same time.
Yeah.
And I've gotten a lot of inspo from their chair, and I hope to bring that to the youth council.
What about you?
Yeah, not only did we learn about all the stuff we can do for our city and with our youth council, but I think we also learned a lot about ourselves and about
Yes.
how we can better our youth council, not only through our bonding on that trip and those 6 hours back and forth, but
Driving to
also-
Tallahassee, yeah.
Right, but also learning from the Cape Coral Youth Council was such a fun experience because they have so much to bring to the table, and hopefully things like maybe a social media department with the youth council or doing many activities that the Cape Coral Council does that maybe we can incorporate with the Port St. Lucie Youth Council.
Oh, interesting. Do you know how long they've had their youth council? Is it fairly recent?
It's not. It was. I think it was around like 2015.
I was
something
going to say
like that.
2015, 2012-ish.
Okay, so it's a lot more established than ours, but
Yeah.
that's good that they were there. I like that.
Right.
Are there any social media accounts that you guys follow that help guide you on the youth council? Or is there anyone like that inspires you on social media?
Well, maybe not on social media, but
Okay.
I think the person that inspires me the most would be my brother. I think he's always been pushing me to do my best, whether it's academically. He was the one that got me to go to the Boys and Girls Club.
Is he older?
He is older than me.
Okay.
He's 19.
Okay.
And he was the one that pushed me to get into the Boys and Girls Club, Youth of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, without Boys and Girls Club, I wouldn't be here today speaking with you guys or on the Youth Council.
Yeah.
So basically, I owe all of that to my brother, and that's just such a huge inspiration for me.
That's wonderful. And I already know the answer to this for you, Victoria, because you are not on social media.
I am not on social media.
I love that you're not on social media. So you kind of switch the question up, which I love. Do you have mentors? What is your brother's name?
Manuel.
Manuel, okay.
I also have a mentor. It is our student government president, our former Florida Association of Student Councils District 5 Secretary, Aiden Anthony Sebastian Lawrence.
Whoa.
He has 4 names?
We gave him a whole title as a
Oh,
joke.
wow,
but
okay, all right.
I promised I'd say his name like that.
How does he inspire you?
His poise when it comes to leadership, he's extremely professional, and I've known him for years, so I've always looked up to him. He's actually who inspires me to become the chair of the youth council and to hopefully run for District 5 secretary, his same position elsewhere.
Awesome. Now let's talk a little about your vice chair and chair. What do you do in that capacity? Is it kind of like a president, vice president sort of thing?
As chair, I help Stephanie plan meetings, I lead meetings, I try and get in contact with people as needed. Yeah.
And then
And
you
then
would
as vice chair, I step in when Victoria cannot, and hopefully I'll be able to maybe lead one of these meetings one day.
I think she'll let you do it.
She might.
Yeah. Speaking of meetings, when are the meetings?
Our meetings are the last Thursday of every month
Okay.
at 5:20. Oddly specific, but
5:20.
We actually had to motion for that. Our meetings were at 5, and we had a scheduling conflict with a few of our members, and we motioned for it to be exactly 5:20.
I love that.
Yes.
Look at you guys using Robert's rules, I assume. Is that what that's called? Okay.
yeah, Robert Rules of Order.
That's awesome. And they're held here, right, at City Hall?
Yes, they are.
In chambers?
They are not held in chambers,
Oh, okay.
unfortunately. They are held upstairs
Oh,
in
okay.
one of the board meetings.
Okay,
rooms.
awesome. And how long are the meetings about? I'm just trying to make, when you guys get some more
Yeah,
youth
it
council
usually
members.
depends. I think it's about an hour. Sometimes we have more to talk about. Recently,
Okay.
when we were planning for our Tallahassee trip and we're doing our service project, meetings ran a little long, but it's usually about an hour.
Okay, cool. Now, what do you each individually hope to take from this experience as being on our youth council?
Well, I would like to learn more about our city and what I can do for the city. I'm not currently perhaps seeking a career in politics or anything politics related, but
Yeah.
this youth council has taught me so much already that it's piqued my interest.
Oh,
And
okay.
I can see myself in a position of politics in Port St. Lucie. So hopefully I get to take more of that from this youth council.
Did you hear that, Mayor Martin? Watch out. What about you, Victoria?
I have always loved politics. I've wanted to be a politician for years, probably around 3rd grade.
That's such a weird thing to want to be at such a young age.
It is, but I hope to use the youth council as a chance to help grow my leadership abilities and my communication abilities. I've already learned so much. I enjoy doing it, so I hope to continue learning and growing through the youth council.
And what are your plans after high school?
I would like to study at FSU, government and law, and then from there go to law school.
Nice.
Right. I would like to seek an education in education.
Oh, you're going to be a teacher.
Yes. Ma'am.
Sweet. I love that. Any particular grade? You want to focus on a subject that you...
I'm not sure, but I am leaning towards English.
Okay.
Which is, I think it's just such an interesting subject. I would like to learn more, and I would like to teach it.
That's awesome. Is there anything you guys want to add to maybe all the teens listening to our podcast, which I know you're probably going to share to all your friends?
Yes.
Is there anything that you want to add to kind of maybe talk, beef up the youth council if anybody ever wants to apply?
I would add, if you are interested in it, try to join. Like, you will learn so much. You will become a better person because of it. You'll grow as a person. And I just want to know, if you ever feel like you're not feeling represented in the city, come to one of us. You can ask your school maybe, see if you have a representative, and talk to them so we can help you feel more represented in the city.
Right, and I would like to add that even if you don't think the youth council is fit for you, there's so many other opportunities the city has for teens to get involved.
You got it.
There. You can just go up into City Hall, ask, and by asking, you're going to get so many opportunities, so please get involved.
I love that. We also have a website for the Youth Council. It's cityofpsl.com/youth council. That's pretty easy to remember. Everything is there for interested parties. If other teens, young people want to learn more information, we're going to have, I think there's photos on there from your trip to Tallahassee and probably from Denver from last year. So visit that. Also, just visit our website in general. Like Enrique said, everything is there set out for you, especially Parks and Recreation. There's so much stuff to do for kids and teens in Port St. Lucie. So we started this little rapid fire thing during our last podcast with the mayor, and it was super fun. So I want to try it with you guys. It's just 10 questions. Yes, 10 questions. We're going to do maybe like 45 seconds. You got your timer ready there since there's 2 people. It's going to be ladies first.
All right.
And we're going to go. Let's do, 45 seconds in general. I think they'll get it just overall. I think that's enough time.
All right.
You guys ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, ladies first. Ready? Favorite food?
Ice cream.
Chicken.
Chicken. Okay. Favorite color?
Yellow.
Green.
Favorite band?
Lana Del Rey.
Kiwi and Kramer.
I'm looking that up. Favorite social media platform? Don't answer that.
Instagram.
Yes. Favorite city?
Boston.
Port St. Lucie.
He's got it. Favorite hobby?
Reading.
Reading.
All right. Favorite animal?
Cat.
I knew that.
Cats.
Oh, you too?
Yeah, I love cats.
Favorite song?
Probably Single Soon, Selena Gomez.
Okay, Selena Gomez.
7 by Taylor Swift.
Oh, nice. Swiftie. Favorite movie?
Avengers and Endgame.
Oh, there's our... Keep going.
Little Women. The 2019 adaptation.
The new version. And favorite actor or actress?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Gosling.
The Ryans. All right. Guys, that was so much fun. I want you, everybody out there, it's cityofpsl.com/youth council. Everything is there. And thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I should have made this
Yes.
like 4:20 instead of 5:20. It shouldn't be like,
Yeah.
exact on the dot. But thank you so much for sitting here with us and so we can learn about the youth council.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.